Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we got rock band Owls and Aliens.
Hi,
Aloha.
what's up?
What's up, man?
If you guys want to go through each one of them, your name, what you play, and what influenced you. Okay. Dakota, you want to go first?
My name is Dakota. I'm the drummer. I do some backup vocals, and there's a lot that's influenced me. Gosh, the Trailblazers definitely influenced me a lot. I don't know. Musically,
What about as far as
bands. There's a ton of them. Like as a kid, some of the first ones were like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Nirvana. I was super into Radiohead. And then I started to get into some like pop punk stuff, like Blink-182, and kind of introduced me to more of the metal slowly but surely, and got me into bands like Beartooth. And oh, look at that, this little jingle right here. Love that one. And yeah, but I like so much stuff. I mean, I like pop music, and I like old stuff. I love like Iron Maiden, and it's just all over the place. So it's tough. That's why it's so hard to answer that.
Okay. Dustin?
Yeah, I sing, and I think we're influenced by Jägermeister a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Mexican beer,
definitely.
and
Under a lot of influence.
I grew up as like a pop punk kid, and then kind of got into metalcore, and then I kind of just listen to everything now. I listen to a lot of pop music and rap and everything. So all over the place with my influences.
Okay.
Oh, my name is Nick. I'm the bass player, and I don't know. I'm really influenced by Captain Beefheart, his Magic Band.
Oh my god!
I really like that one song from SpongeBob that's like sweet, sweet victory.
That's a great.
I grew up on that one.
Wait. What about Mark Wahlberg? This band.
Oh yeah, Marky Mark and the Funky
Steel
Bunch,
Dragon,
dude.
No,
bro.
Steel Dragon.
Oh, Steel Dragon.
Steel Dragon.
Oh, but yeah,
He likes
I'm
Steel
stuff
Dragon
like that.
from the movie Rockstar. He's a big. Oh, don't forget Powerline, baby.
Oh, Powerline,
from
the
Goofy
greatest
movie.
rock star of all time,
Yeah,
Dad.
dude. Let's
Yeah.
not forget about that.
Oh
And maybe some Tim Burton or some shit.
yeah, yeah, definitely some Tim Burton.
All right, good job, Nick. Good pass.
Oh, it's me, Nick. I'm Jeff. Sorry, guys. I was over here just waiting for the cue. Sorry. I'm Jeff. I play lead guitar here with this funky bunch. And then my biggest influences, let's see, Motown, 80s funk, and like lots of rock and roll, whether that's like Nazareth. I mean, you go all the way up to like Motorhead, which is I'd say is a little not necessarily rock and roll, but anything hard rock, like Van Halen and maybe a little bit of the Police is really awesome
Genesis.
to throw in there. Dude, Phil Collins is the shit. I mean, we can't ever throw out like bands that put it down like Iron Maiden, obviously. So I'm a big fan of that older stuff, and I'm still learning how to appreciate newer stuff because I guess at some point in time I feel like music kind of changed, so my head's just kind of always repeating the same rhythms and stuff of those older classic rock bands, So I mean, Ozzy Osbourne. You know,
Okay.
many of those great guitar players he played with. So I'm more influenced by guitar players in a lot of these bands rather than just the band. But I do appreciate a lot of these bands that, from the past. You know, basically classic rock and classic metal and funk and Motown, oldies. I love oldies. So I got a pretty good range of things that I appreciate listening to.
And then there's another guy that's not here. His name is Travis.
Okay.
Hi, Trav.
Hi, Trav.
Mr. Trav.
Oh, did you say you're the lead guitar player?
Yeah.
Travis is the rhythm guitar player.
Okay.
And he likes a lot of grunge and punk and pop punk, and some of his favorite bands are like Deftones and Glassjaw is huge. He loves Nirvana. Also loves like My Chem and Green Day and
You love Smashing
Blink.
Pumpkins.
Smashing Pumpkins. So a lot of the '90s.
Alice in
grunge
Chains.
and Alice in Chains, yeah. We all like Alice in Chains. Obviously.
Everybody loves Alice in Chains.
That's a big one for us all.
We just love rock and roll and
Yeah.
freeform.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, how did you guys form as a band? How did that happen? Did you like put ads out or what?
No,
Coda.
unfortunately, it's not a Craigslist story. It started in so many different ways, so I'll kind of tell you all the different chains that happened. I was in a band in college. That's why I lived here in Klamath Falls. They're called Box Brothers, and we were all going to move to Iowa together, but that fell through, and so I didn't really know what to do after I graduated.
I was just scratching my foot.
You got that button?
Yeah, you want to rub it?
But I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'll start a band. I mean, what else is there to do? So I hit up Dustin because him and I played some shows together because he was a singer-songwriter at the time for a few years, and he'd open for us, and we'd play shows together, and so I was familiar with him. And then, we're like, okay, well, who else should join? And he's like, well, for guitar players, it should be Travis and Jeff. And I was like, all right, I know Jeff because Jeff used to come to my Box Brothers shows. And he would just be so enthusiastic and rock out. And he would, I remember him saying he played guitar, but I was packing up all my gear. It was
Totally cliche.
Yeah. I was like, I have to play the next night. But thanks, dude. But yeah, it's so weird looking back. It's so funny. Anyway, and he knew Travis from back in the day. Travis was in a band called Dissonance 10 years ago, just in the local Southern Oregon punk scene. And Dustin was in a band. Were you in what Giants Creed? Was that?
Yeah.
At the time. Yeah.
There's been so many bands.
Yeah. Dustin's been in a lot of bands. Kind of started in the Christian scene, got into Christian metal, and then now does everything. But where was I going with that?
With the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a band now, and
We're a band now.
So here we are.
So yeah, it was actually just the four of us for a little bit, and the three of them, Jeff, Travis, and Dustin, got together and wrote the first song we had, "Romanticize the Sorrow." They wrote kind of the gist of it, and then at the beginning of 2019, they came over to my garage. We all jammed, basically finished the song except it didn't have bass, and we started kind of coming up with some other new ideas in the next few weeks. But we were like, we need a bass player. And I think I'm going to pause the story so that Jeff and Nick can take over this. How Nick, our baby, how he got in there.
I went through death in the family, and Jeff was my next door neighbor, and he saw all the ambulances and stuff that was outside. He invited me upstairs to kind of just hang out, and he was all like, do you want to come with me over to my band practice? And when I got there, I just sat and watched them play for a little bit, and I was like, I play guitar. You guys have something for me to play? And they're like, we got a bass in the back. And they gave me this, probably the shittiest bass I've ever played in my life.
Made in Klamath Falls.
Maybe.
Dragon
It was a
Fire.
locally built guitar.
From 15 years
terrible.
ago, they closed down. They don't
Right.
exist anymore.
I think we still have it laying around somewhere.
Yeah, I have it. Oh yeah, I have it.
Oh my god.
So,
But I basically just threw on the ending bass line
basically,
to it, and it just became a song.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
But Jeff's like, so he's in the band, right? Like, without even talking to us. We're like,
I was like, yeah, I was down because he picked up the bass part so quick. I was like, yeah.
You guys are leaving out a crucial part here.
The
You
track.
know, I used to see this guy for a long time
There you go.
downtown playing guitar outside of the bars because he never had a fucking ID to get in.
He also wasn't even 21 yet.
Yeah, I wasn't even 21 yet.
So I would, when I was drunk and I'm coming out to smoke or whatever the hell I was doing, I'd be like, oh, we'd play a song together. So we knew each other, before we knew we were neighbors.
So did I. I see him.
yeah, we all knew each other.
You know, and I'd hung out with him a few times, and when I saw out my front door,
It's
you
just
know,
right,
when it
it's unlocked.
happened,
It's right on the left side of the driver's side. I left my lights on.
once I saw what had happened, I immediately texted him. I was like, I know he's a musician. People, sometimes can really kind of get help. Music saves a lot.
Yeah,
Fucking
music saves lives.
music saves a lot of shit. So I thought, why not, dude? Right after I saw what he was going through, you want to come and hang out with us? And it wasn't just like, dude, we just picked a freaking, the randomest candy out of the bucket to go, oh yeah, you're gonna be in the band, bro. No, he did a good job because I knew he was a guitar player, and yes, he had the shittiest bass I could.
Yeah, it was my bass.
But yeah, absolutely.
He still has that bass.
They didn't even tell me that they didn't agree with me for the longest time. But it's cool though, because look, here he is.
I didn't disagree. I just disagree with
You're like,
the way
you didn't ask us for him to be in the band.
Yeah.
You just kind of
first.
raised his hand, was like, he's in the band, and I was like, I was enthusiastic about it, and
I was too.
and I knew it was there for a reason. So look at this guy, and he's actually gotten really fucking. He's always doing something better and better and better.
It's cool because he's developed his own style as a guitar player and then transitioned to bass. He's
Yeah.
got his own
So
thing.
we're proud of him, even though he was a baby, and he's watching this guy get better and better and better.
We didn't explain much at Trav. No, Jeff and Trav started.
Oh, I met Travis because let's see, I moved into the house next door to Nick, and this is long before the band and all that other stuff. But there was a local market that I would walk to go get some beer with my brother, and Travis worked there as a cashier, and I noticed some days he was pissed off and sometimes he wasn't. But I go, like, this guy looks pretty cool, but like, the fuck's his problem, So I asked my brother about him because my brother knew him because my brother grew up here, and I'm from different parts of Oregon. I'm originally from Salem, so when I moved down here, I was re-meeting a lot of people. And my brother, who grew up here, goes, "Oh, that's Travis. He's been in a lot of punk bands. I don't think you guys would get along because I've never been a big punk fan, and the rhythms just don't work. I haven't worked, to appreciate it at that point in my life." So he goes, "Yeah, I don't think you guys would get along." I go, "Well, I don't give a shit, dude. Bring him over for a fucking beer. We're gonna hang out, dude. Let him chill out." And I think about a couple months into it, we ended up skating around town, going, just being cool, talking about life. Getting, we were really good friends, and he showed me a couple of songs he'd working on. And after that, we just kind of sat down, no words involved, and grabbed the guitars. And so we realized at that point that two totally different styles could work together. You just gotta take it below that loudness to really create what that loudness can give you later. You gotta really get the integrity of the song down when it's just you and a guitar, the other guitar player, if you're gonna get the rhythms down. So after that, then Travis told me about Dustin, and then I got an email or a text from Dakota, and I said, "Hey, did you get the same text message?" He goes, "Yeah, I got the same one from Dustin. How do you feel about it?" And I go, "Fuck it, let's do it, dude. Like, let's go, dude. Let's rock and roll, And then very soon after, Nick's tragedy and his family happened, but it was, I think, a good thing for all of us.
It was like a new beginning of sorts.
In the total end, I think it was a good thing. Not the tragedy, but what came out of it, I think it was the best outcome.
Like a phoenix.
But it was
for all of us. So that's how we all met each other, as a band.
Yep. It kind of, like I said, there's a lot of different pieces of it all.
How did you guys come up with the name Owls and Aliens?
God, I was having the worst dump of my life, bro. You know, it started out with some really shitty ideas at first.
Literally.
I was watching Five Goes West.
An American Tale.
Yeah. And no, that's really how we came up with it.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a line where it was like,
Tiger.
yeah, he's hallucinating in the desert, and
Tiger.
he thinks he sees his girlfriend, and he wakes up and he's actually kissing an owl. And he's like, I just kissed an owl. And we were like, okay, I don't know, like, let's be called Kissed an Owl. And everyone's like, no. But my sister drew up some owl artwork. Don't do that. I hate when you do that. And we were called Night Owl for a short time.
Yeah, we kind of changed it.
And we just had this really cool artwork that my sister drew up. She's a tattoo artist. And then we just kind of
We wanted to
brainstormed
stick
and came up with the name Owls and Aliens from that.
Yeah, we wanted to stick with owls because we had this sick
Well, our
artwork.
first name was Night Owl, but then we found out some Chicano rapper had taken over the rights to all the variations of the name.
Yeah, we actually tried to
Night Owl with a K, Night Owl with no K, Night Owl with a K, no space.
We tried to post a demo to like Spotify, and it posted under his name,
Oh,
and we were like,
where's our song?
But that name sucked anyway. So
yeah.
That name did suck.
So we came with Owls and Aliens, and it just stuck.
Yeah, just one day, yeah.
Here we are.
Owls and Aliens, bro.
You guys released Mercy back in May 2020. How was the response for that song? Was there a lot of people that liked it?
Yeah, but pretty much anyone that listened to it.
Yeah, anybody that liked, I think the response, maybe not the numbers, because as an independent band, you can't pay for the marketing to get that exposure and stuff like that. But I think locally, what we had and the resources that we had available to us at the time, we got a really good response.
Yeah,
which I think encouraged the band to be worthy of being listened to by others too, because everything was shared enough. Word of mouth went a long way.
We're from a really small town that's kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's no other towns near us, so we're very limited as far as resources and venues and opportunities. So, but for what we had, we locally in our town, we got a fantastic response, and we were able to post it on social media. We can't pay for all the crazy ads and all that stuff, but it did really well, and we got a lot of people saying that they were like, most of the stuff that pops up on my feed sucks, but I'm really glad this came out. Like, this is good.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that kind of stuff.
And now at this point where it's at, since it's a year or so later, it's actually reached parts of other countries and parts of the country, and the response that we're getting from that is quite awesome.
Yeah, it's just getting out there. We only have one song. We haven't got to play that many shows, so once we get out there and people find out who we are, I'm just stoked for that.
We are releasing a new song soon, so
Friday the 13th, we're releasing our newest single, also with a video called "You Can't Save Everyone" that was filmed here in our town at our famous skate park and the surrounding area. And we couldn't have done that without the help of our photographer and our studio engineer.
Yeah, our videographer
that took the time to really make this happen for us. So.
What have you guys done since the lockdown for the past year? Did you guys work on new music, go in the studio, play any shows anywhere or anything like that?
we tried to go to the studio initially, and so that was in the summer of last year, and then like all the numbers went back up, like on the West Coast, and so California like restrictions tightened again after they had like initially loosened, and so our producer, we had actually booked another session with him, and he's like, I have to cancel. And so he was like, I don't know when I'm going to be open again, but I'll let you guys know. And then he was like, actually, I'm relocating to Austin, Texas. So then we were like, okay, well, we can't. He's like, and I'm going to build a new studio, so I'm not available for a while. And we're like, okay, well, we're just going to. And we were like halfway through recording the album. So like, well, we're just going to step back for a second, think about things, and we just kept meeting every week and practicing and writing new material, working on new stuff, and
Perfecting the material we had.
yeah, mainly just making sure to be together.
Yeah, we still held practices twice a week.
We made it through, so we're sitting on a lot of material, and we're going to Austin, Texas in September.
Yeah,
and the album will be out early next year.
Yep.
So
we have that officially booked. We're leaving September 9th to go to Texas, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're getting all the numbers of all of our necessities kind of written down right now to make sure, that we're covered. Everything looks like we're going to be on our way.
Yep.
Do you guys got any shows booked for the future?
Yep.
Yeah, plenty of them.
So we're releasing that song, You Can't Save Everyone, Friday, August 13th. I'm going to keep pitching that. And that night we're playing a show here in Klamath Falls at Gino's. They do like a summer concert series. Every Friday they have live bands. So this will be our first time playing there, though, which we're excited about. And then the next day we're hosting a garage show. We're supposed to have a band from Reno joining us, but that's pending due to some unfortunate events. So we'll see. But we're going to host the show.
Mowgli and the Blues will be there.
And Mowgli and the Blues, Dustin's brother from Bend, he will be down as well for that garage show. And then on August 28th, we are playing Klamath Falls again. There's a block party we're going to be headlining just downtown.
Cool.
And we're also working on booking a full West Coast fall tour for October, November. So
Yeah, stay tuned. Those are
that's all in the works.
Yes. As well as 2022, once the album is released, we're looking to do full nation wide.
You guys are with MVK Music Group? Okay. How did you hook up with them?
So part of when we were in the pandemic, I was just trying to find, anybody that looked like they would be willing and excited to work with us, help us achieve the goals that we wanted to achieve, which is to get our album released and to go tour the country and to just get our name out there and have people just do what we love to do. And so I just was doing a lot of research, learning about the music industry, how it works these days, and how to successfully market. And after a while, I started finding like management and label groups and finding their contact information and being able to get a hold of them. And I got a hold of MVK. I just kind of found them through my research, and I really loved what they stood for. They didn't have that many bands that they were managing, but they looked like they had a good crew, and what they stood for was amazing. Just like all about the artists and being there for their mental health and physical health, and just so I just gave them an email, and it was kind of funny because they wrote me back like, all right, we'll take a look, and then I didn't hear anything for like a month. So I followed up with them, and then soon after, Brian was on the phone with me, and we just started talking every day, and everything aligned really perfectly. They weren't really looking to add a new artist, except right when we did contact them, one of their bands that they previously had just happened to dismember. So Brian actually had a spot open, and they had a bunch of bands, some great bands that they were looking at, and they just believed in our development, what we've got going on.
What state are you guys based out of?
Oregon.
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 I love
Oregon, as some people say.
Your song Mercy, it got kind of like a old school alternative grunge vibe to it. It sounds kind of like a cross between like Jane's Addiction and Blind Melon. Not Blind Melon, No Rain, but Blind Melon with the other, you know. Um, I don't know if you picked that up or not, if you noticed the sound or not, but that's what I got from it.
Yeah, nice.
I hear Jane's Addiction.
We
a lot,
seem to
'cause we
get a
have that
lot of,
big
With
reverb
that song.
sound. Yeah.
Yes.
different reactions.
The kind of
about it.
dissonance of it.
Yeah, but you
It wasn't intentionally written that in any of those styles, though.
you hear that with that song, but then you hear like You Can't Save Everyone, and it's totally different. It's just we kind of got a lot going on, but the core is all there. So, but I totally hear it. Honestly, when people pointed it out, I was like, oh wow. Yes.
What's cool about jamming with these guys is we don't try to sound like, we're not trying to be like a metalcore band or
Rock
punk
band.
band or a rock band. We get in there and we play what we think we should play, and we just be ourselves, and that's how we have this original sound. And I think that's really works in our favor as far as being comfortable and being unique.
I know. I was just reading an article about how there were some 80s bands that were trying to chase after like the grunge sound. So they switched from 80s music to grunge and it didn't work. You shouldn't be chasing trends anyways. You should be your own original self, you know.
Yeah, as long as we stay in that mindset, I think. There's no pressure. We can just do what we want to do.
I think the biggest benefit of everybody grew up in completely different musical backgrounds and influences. So when we jam together, it's not an argument like, well, I don't think you should play that, or I don't like that, because the argument is completely obsolete because they're different.
Yeah.
So why do you argue? So the only thing to do is just to like see what you can add to that, or see what you can add to you, and that's the only way this has been able to work. Yeah. I swear to God, because Mercy does not. I wrote that song the guitar parts to that when I was 15 years old, and back then I listened to a lot of like 80s like melodic hard rock, that wasn't thrashy or anything like that, and now it sounds nothing like that. But those same guitar parts that I wrote back then were only able to be developed by these guys with different musical backgrounds because they added so many different things to it. It made it, and I could never actually ever go back and think that the original riffs were supposed to be that way. No, they were supposed to be that way because all these different guys were able to create it, this one song with all their different influences, and that's just the way it works here. There's no argument of why things should sound a certain way. We're all thankful that we're different because that's our biggest strength.
Yeah,
it really helps because that makes every song that we create sound different than the last one that you heard.
Oh, they're all different,
but they all have like kind of the same sound, which is us.
Yeah. We're kind of like, a Venn diagram, like imagine that was 5 all like,
or pizza,
where there's some things that all meet up in the middle, then we're all this like different flower.
Jeff, that guitar tapping part in Mercy, did you have that when you were 15 or did you add that later?
I actually didn't even
you need to stop eating during the interview.
Sorry, this is like really good granola. You guys can take it from me. My buddy made it, so anyway, no, I actually didn't even write that till later. I wasn't even able to write it until later because, and I'll tell you why. You don't, when I write solos or I start building solos, it's because I give myself enough patience to feel the song, to feel where it needs to go. And if I get caught somewhere, I'll just start completely over. But I have to give myself that time. So there was no way I could ever develop that solo if I didn't have these guys' different parts to make the song what it was. So because of them, I was able to take my time playing with it. And honestly, dude, at that point we had played it so many different times. I just thought at that moment, you know, Eddie just needs to go, bro. So I wrote that in the studio, almost not on the spot, but it took me about like, I want to say like 15, 20 takes.
Yeah.
Before I figured out like how the solo should go, because I had to spend at least 20 seconds prior to that solo part to feel the song where it needed to go. And honestly, dude, I just like was like, you know what? I got everything I need right in front of me. Just fucking bang it out. And if it didn't feel good, it was like walking upstairs. Honestly, you walk up the first one, you fall down. You know, you walk up the second one, you fall down. But you keep going until you walk up that whole step. So that's pretty much how it happened. Was I developed it kind of on the spot, but it took me a little while. Like, it took me many takes to finish.
Once you had it locked in, you played the same way every time.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah,
now it just plays the same
it's so
thing
locked
over
in
and
now.
over.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's butter now, you know. But that's what it takes, you know. You got to take your time feeling it out, you know.
For your video for Mercy, did you guys just put that together yourselves?
Yeah,
It's like Snapchat videos.
it's not a.
Yeah, it was kind of like a bunch of
It's like-
memories.
We don't really call it a music video.
Yeah,
It's
that's
kinda
more of like a-
promo.
Yeah, we call it a promo video, you know,
And,
just because it's not the official.
We had a bunch of little Snapchat clips from us and our friends, and we had a buddy of ours put it together and make it look cooler than we can do.
A bunch of those snaps were of us on the road, you know, to our studio and in our studio in Sacramento. So it showed a little bit of us of the journey of our time creating that song.
Yeah.
That feels so
Basically,
long ago now.
While you fucked around in Target, excuse my language.
Right.
Target, that's my favorite part, dude. These idiots in Target.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of gives you a little personal look at, you know, what we went through, kind of getting that song ready and recorded and released.
Yeah, I think the video is pretty cool though. It shows you guys laid back and relaxed and stuff. And
That's how we always
Yeah, I'm a person.
are.
Yeah, it's important to relate to people on that level, not taking yourself too seriously, and that we have fun together, because we always have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never been difficult to hang out with four dudes.
I had a little too much fun.
You know, many times a week for a few years consistently. It's not that hard anymore. You know?
Yeah. Now we're ready for the next step, where it's every day.
I already know what y'all smell like, so I'm over it.
where could we get a hold of you guys at? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yes, all the above.
All the above.
Just at Owls and Aliens Band. Twitter, I think it's owls_aliens. But everything else is Owls and Aliens Band. You can go to our website, owlsandaliens.com. Pretty simple. Write out the word and, A-N-D. You can find everything there. Links to our social, links to our Spotify, YouTube.
Buy some
Website.
merch.
Yeah.
Merch.
We got our own
You
website.
can pre-save. You can't save everyone on our website. Like through it, there's links to it. We got merchandise that's available for sale. We can ship anywhere in the United States and some international.
We're working on all international right now, though.
Yeah. If you're interested, just go to owlsandaliens.com.
That's pretty much all I got. You guys got anything to add?
August 13th, you can't save everyone.
Yeah,
Music
Friday the
video.
13th.
August 13th.
Tell
Look
your
out for it.
friends, tell your moms, tell your grandkids
And your aunties.
and your aunties. August 13th,
Yep.
Friday.
And bring your dogs. I love your dogs.
Bring them.
Bring your dogs.
I don't know where to, but bring them.
Always clean up, bring a little baggie.
Bring them to the
Don't leave that
video.
out.
Tip your bartenders.
Oh, we are actually.
Save your bartenders, yeah.
There is actually going to be a live stream for right when it comes out. It's going to be 7:30 Pacific Standard Time on Thursday, August 12th, is when the video will premiere. We're going to be having an event at a local place called Bravada Brew House, where we're going to live stream the whole thing. So if you follow our socials, you'll be able to watch it right when it premieres. And then on the 13th is when it's available on all streaming platforms, YouTube, etc.
And you guys should have like an album out by the end of the year, or what?
Probably 2022 in the beginning, right? In the beginning.
Really
We're thinking January. And we'll probably finish recording it in September, but we're going to release a few singles on the way.
Running peace. but we're